A beautiful day it is, and you're welcome to your show, Business Sense with Coach Simon. I'm a business branding coach and consultant, and the essence of this show is to help empower you build a globally profitable and relevant brand. We started a series, we started or we considered a series which I titled 12 Common Mistakes People Make When Branding Their Businesses. And today happens to be the 12th. Today happens to be the fifth episode in the series, and we're going to be considering the last mistake a lot of persons make. And why I decided to reserve this for the last is because of its importance. Its importance, and you're going to find out how. But just by way of recap, I will just quickly do like race you through uh, what we what we looked at so far. Talking about the 11 mistakes, then we'll now round off nicely with the 12th one. We started by looking at no defined objectives as one of the mistakes. We went ahead to look at making it about you and not about those you are seeking to serve. And we also looked at prioritizing other things over branding. Then we also looked at lack of originality, where I said that people do other things and they now, okay, let's just chip in branding, right? Then we also looked at uh, lack of originality. We looked at or impersonation. We also looked at not reflecting what you do in your branding as one of the major issues that a lot of people face. Then we also looked at falsehood, building on falsehood. Then went ahead to look at lack of flexibility. We looked at carelessness about your association. We looked at over concentration on aesthetics. We looked at lack of consistency. We looked at generalization over specialization. So just for you to have, if you want to enjoy all that I shared, all that was shared in the course of this series, just head on to Samumachi TV on YouTube, and you are going to have all of those there. I upload them there for your listening or for your pleasure. And of course, you don't have to pay anything, it's free. So it's there for you to enjoy. And don't forget to subscribe and also turn on your notification buttons, because a lot of amazing resources would be uploaded that will help you in your business, in your career, and your life in general. Okay, so let's look at the 12th mistake. Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready for it? Okay, before I talk about the 12th mistake, I want you to make me a promise that you are not going to be offended at what I'm about to say. Are you getting me? You're not going to be offended at what I'm about to unveil, and maybe probably my choices of words, because the idea behind it is to prick your heart, is to make you get offended. Offended in a positive sense, get offended. Okay, not get offended, is to make you get provoked, rather provoked to do the right thing. Are you ready for it? Now, the 12th mistake most people make is lack of professional input. Lack of professional input. Say, I understand that, yeah, you have met a lot of people, right? You have come across people who claim to be experts, but they are not. I understand that, and I feel your pain. And let me, on their behalf, say apologize for not getting value. You understand, at what you do, not getting value for what you want, not getting the value that you expected to get. Ideally speaking, I'm very careful with my words. Ideally speaking, because there are certain expectations that are not ideal. There are expectations, and you're entitled to your expectations, but they are not ideal. But ideally speaking, sorry, on the behalf of those who didn't give you that value. Now, one of the things I find very funny, you may want to say you are an expert, you are a brand designer, so you can say what you want to say. You don't know our pain. See, one of the things you should never do, one of the mistakes you should never make, is to take lightly your branding. Are you getting my point? Is to take lightly your branding, especially as it deals with your aesthetics. Especially as it deals with your aesthetics. When I talk about your aesthetics, I'm talking about your name, I'm talking about your logo designs, I'm talking about all of the other things that people see, especially because um, the things people don't see, you can walk around them, you have control, you can be able to work on them personally. But as for aesthetics, the mistakes you should never make is to handle it yourself if you're not an expert. If you are not an expert, if you don't have an idea of how to go about it, the mistake you should never make is to handle it yourself. Now, let me also put this out. It is not every graphic designer that is a brand designer or brand developer. It is not every graphic designer out there, no matter how good you think they are, not all of them understand branding. I came across someone had to, if I know my neighbors had to reach out recently, and he was just lamenting that he asked somebody to design a logo for him, and when I saw what they did, I was just laughing in my mind. These people know nothing. Now, let me also say this: that you can design does not mean that you can design a brand, or that you can develop a brand, or that you can do branding. Now, to graphic designers, most of the time, branding to them is let us design and print SAV and use it to cover a car or cover a box, those the Spark Rider boxes or something. That is what branding is to them. That is not that is Branding goes beyond that. Branding goes beyond that. You understand? So that someone can design that the person is very good at designing does not mean that they understand what branding is. Branding goes way deeper than that. Now, that you know your way around some of these designing apps does not mean that you can design a brand. Yes, I know that. Yeah, this may create a lot of controversy. This may make you this may not sit well with you, but it's just the truth. Just see it as one of those pills that you take, even though you don't like taking medicine, you don't like taking drugs, but in order to take it for you to get well. You understand? So what this would mean is that don't be like a wise person, like one of my clients recently who reached out. I saw a couple of things she's done, and she humbly and in wisdom reached out, and we created something that truly befits her brand. Are you getting my point? So the reason for this is that now, some of you may be, some of you, what you are concerned about is the money that you want to spend. But I don't call those expenditures. I call them investments. Because here's the thing. If you involve an expert, you won't do the mistake of lack of consistency. That is one of the benefits of involving an expert. Involving an expert would not would save you the cost of lack of consistency, because if you involve an expert, it will be something that will be done once and for a while. I didn't say once and forever, once and for a while, because you may grow bigger and you want to tweak your identity a bit, or you want to tweak your design, you want to rebrand. You understand that maybe you've grown big, the vision is now bigger, and you feel that what you currently have does not really fit into the bigger vision. So you may want to expand the vision. You may want to rebrand so that it will be able to fit the expanded vision. All right. But because I'm saying what I'm saying is that if you feel that okay, I can design now, and before you know, you hop on one of those design softwares, design applications, and you put one or two things together. You're not doing that from the point of understanding. To you, what you are seeing out there, what you are seeing could be another beautiful work of art. But to a brand designer, to a branding expert, what they are seeing is a story. That is the difference between you and them. That's the difference between a graphic designer and a brand designer or a branding expert. That is the difference. What one person sees is a beautiful work of art. What another person is seeing is a story expressed. You understand? I'll give you. I'll tell you the reason why I said what I said. Now, one of the clients reached out to me recently and wanted me to brand her academy, and so I did three options. All right, options of identities for her, logo designs for her, and she picked one. And the question she asked me is, this is confusing. What does this really mean? By the time I took her through the process, by the time I explained to her the rationale and the story behind that particular one, she just said, that is it. And this is what I'm going for. Straight on. So you now see the difference. But a graphic designer may not really tell you any story. To them, they just put together something. It's not about, oh, my name is Simon Matthew, you just put S and M together. What is the story? What is the story? Does the graphical representation or the icons infused or embedded into the design, does it depict or connote anything? That is the difference. You understand? Now, if you don't involve you don't involve an expert, what you may keep doing is you choose this today, before you know it, as you see someone else's, you feel intimidated and you want to do that. But if there's an expert that has guided you, or an expert that you are working with, they would come up with something. You understand? And by the time you see the story, because before someone goes ahead to design your brand for you, there are a series of questions, there are a series of conversations that must have happened. And in the course of those conversations, they are taking down notes that you may not even be aware of. You understand? A brand designer does not just start to design. No, they don't just what they first do is to first understand your story, understand the end point, where you headed, what's your vision, and all of those things. And by the time you guys are done, they will now be able to create something that will truly help you. Are you getting my point? So these are the things. So it will be a very big mistake on your part for you to want to do it by yourself, or for you to want to go and give that guy or that lady and say that I saw that you are very good at this thing. Just help me come up with a logo. No. They may come up with something that may look beautiful, but it doesn't depict what you stand for. It doesn't truly represent who you are or what you stand for as a brand. And if that happens, it becomes an issue. And imagine that particular identity or that particular logo has gone viral, only for you to realize that the message that has been sending along, now you can afford an expert in your mind, and you now decide to consult one. And by the time they take a look at what you have, they now begin to puncture the holes. You now begin to feel disappointed. You don't want to go through that route. You understand? And so if you hear the word expert, don't get intimidated. Don't think that, oh, these guys are just all about money. That's where the negotiation comes in. You understand? There are brand designers for every pocket, depending on your pockets. And you can negotiate. You can have an understanding. You can spread payments depending on your relationship with them. You understand? But please, if at all you will not do any of that, if at all you will choose to want to do your own thing, when it comes to your businesses, especially if it's your personal brand, you can do whatever you like with it. But when it comes to your business brand, something that is business, please involve an expert in the branding of that business so that from the beginning you are doing something right. You understand? So that from the beginning you are doing something right. So I hope all of the things I've shared with you in the course of this series helped you. All right. So I look forward to bringing a whole new series to you. All right. So if you have questions, feel free to leave that in the comment section. If you have need to speak with an expert on branding, feel free to reach out to me. Let's get to talk. All right. So until I come your way again, this is Simon Matthew saying to you, keep doing business, keep making profits, keep making money. But very importantly, keep living the limitless life. Have a blessed day ahead. God bless you.